tone chaser. That thing you hear in your head that you just can't quite get.
Hey, Tone Chasers, how are you? How is everybody today? Just a little short intro before you get to the real intro. I think you're going to dig what's coming next. This audio has never been heard before. It came from an interview I did with Edward around October 96, right when the Greatest Hits Volume 1 record came out. And I sat down and I asked Edward to give me 25 words on each song. And so what you're going to hear over the course of 5 segments spread out over several days is Edward talking about these songs that appeared on that Greatest Hits record. And you're also going to hear the unbelievable guitar playing of Derek Fuller from Van Halen, playing the riffs of the songs, and then we're going to talk about it and just have some fun. So I hope you dig it. And one last thing, forget the handheld, is want you to see the guitar that Derek will be playing for the first couple songs. This guitar was given to me by Mike Tempesta, Artist Relations for Fender, EVH, and Charvel. Thank you, Mike. And that's about it, folks. So hang on for some unbelievably cool audio from Edward Van Halen. World premiere coming. Thanks, guys. See you soon. Bye. So we're here, the home of Derek Fuller.
Welcome. Welcome to my home, Steve.
Van Halen, thank you so much.
Thank you. Great to have you.
We're going to try something a little different today, everybody. Derek has kindly agreed to play some riffs, play some songs from the Van Halen canon. And what we're going to do is I'm going to take some audio from an interview I did with Edward back around 95 when the Greatest Hits record came out. So Edward's going to be talking a little bit about these tracks. And then Derek is going to play a little bit from that song. And maybe we'll have a little discussion following that. And we're just going to run through all the 17 songs on that record. And so you can see kind of what's involved, what Edward was maybe thinking when he put those songs together, how some of those riffs really do sound deceptively difficult to play. And nobody better to do it than Mr. Derek Fuller.
I'm going to certainly try my best. It doesn't mean that I'm going to nail it by any means.
Absolutely, you're going to nail this. Okay, so we're going to start with Van Halen 1, Eruption.
Eruption was a guitar solo that I did live, and Don or Ted Templeman had heard me doing it. So one day, whatever, I'm always one to just show up early and warm up before we record.
Mm-hmm.
I was the first one there, and I was practicing for a whiskey gig. Practicing my solo, and Ted walked in and go, "What the hell is that?" I go, "That's the thing I do live, it's my guitar solo." He said, "Shit, Don, old tape," Did it twice, and that was it. It's actually a when I get up high, I actually make a mistake, but...
You mean on the actual track on the record?
On the record, yeah. But what the hell, They liked it, so I said, first record in my life, I didn't know that I could say, "Hey, can I try it again?"
Right.
I didn't know anything. I didn't even know how to overdub. That's why there are no overdubs, except very minimal. Like I think the Run with the Devil overdubbed the solo, and Jamie's Crying.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. The rest is all just guitar on the left.
Right.
And
yeah.
Low and live.
So, what was the tapping thing something that you developed specifically for this solo, or was it part of your general playing?
It was part of my playing.
And this was a song that just showcased that, really?
Well, because it was a melodic piece,
Mm-hmm.
And he'd never heard me do that. So he said, "Damn, let's put it on a record."
Right.
What do you say, Mr. Temple?
I believe that's an instrumental song?
I believe so.
There you go.
Somebody, yeah.
There you go. So we all know about Eruption. Edward claims there's a mistake in there. You can go online, you can hear 10 guys tell you it's in 10 different places.
Yes.
I don't think anybody ever really heard it except Edward. What do you think, man?
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to dissect it a little bit earlier today, trying to figure out exactly where it is. I've reached out to some of my friends who are really anal about this kind of stuff, and they're showing me different places. So who knows? We hear it one way, and that's the way it's supposed to sound.
Absolutely.
And then, in fact, we listened to the New Year's Eve version of Eruption at the Whiskey. So he had already recorded it. They had been practicing for that particular gig when Ted Templeman heard him play it. And it sounds almost identical to the record, all that tapping part anyway.
Absolutely.
And some of the other parts where there claims to be a mistake, but it sounds exactly the same. So
absolutely.
Maybe he's doing the old, if you make a mistake, do it twice. That way nobody knows you're making a mistake.
Exactly.
Which he's actually
Exactly.
said.
Exactly. Absolutely. So you want to play a little bit of that for us?
Yeah, I'm going to play a little bit of where some of these so-called mistakes are, and I'll just kind of like go, that's where it's supposed to be, even, who knows. I'm just going to do the tapping part. All right. Much better, can you tell? Right here. I made that mistake by just moving this finger one here from the 17th to the 18th and back up to the 17th. Whether that's a mistake or not, who really knows?
Exactly. That's freaking cool, man. Freaking cool. Now,
Yeah.
we're on Ain't Talking About Love.
Ain't Talking About Love?
That was actually, we were making fun of punk. You know? It was a two-chord song. Da 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 da. You know?
Mm-hmm.
We were just having a gas. We actually wrote like 3 songs in Dave's basement that day. Another one called Bullet Head. You know, Bullet Head. Da 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 da. You know, we were just having a gas, and it actually turned into a good song.
Really?
It started off as a joke, you know. I just started slamming on 2 chords, and I say, wait a minute, we can make something out of this. You should see the very first album cover that Warner Brothers designed for us.
Really?
Oh, it looked just like the Clash or whoever.
Oh, did it really?
You know, and we said, fuck this shit. And we came up with the logo ourselves.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Because, hey, we're not punk.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, there's nothing wrong with punk. We're saying, hey, we're just a fucking rock and roll band.
Right.
Don't try and slot us in with the Sex Pistol thing just because it's happening. Because that's not us.
Right.
But no, we were never. I mean, all I can do is what's given to me or what comes out of me. You know, I don't sit down and go, okay, today I'm going to write a song like this.
Right.
You know, I mean, not to knock Barry Manilow, but I'd be writing jingles and you know, I'd be writing for other people if I could do that.
Right. Right. No, I understand.
What kind of song do you want? I'll knock one out for you. You know, I'm not that kind of person.
Which we were talking about earlier. Edward does that amazing little arpeggio in there, but it's a type of arpeggio that you really have never heard anybody play that way before. So it's right. It's all based off that A minor, and then it goes that F and that G, and it's just so sublime.
Yeah.
Interesting that Edward would hear that as a punk song. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, is there a version where he's actually playing it more in a punk thing? I mean, I can't even imagine what the rhythm would be.
Here's a couple things that I know about it. One is I'm going to play you the first time they ever played it, and that was at Magic Mountain in 1977. And I think it's the first time. I don't know that for a fact, but I believe it's the first time. You can hear it's quite a bit different as far as the tempo. How slow it is?
Way slow.
So slow. And then when you say punk rock, there's this whole thing about where did Eddie come up with this design, this guitar, the stripes. and there was a punk band called the Dills.
Yeah.
The guitar player's name, and I don't want to admit, is Chip Kinman. And he would be playing at the Whiskey in 1977, same time frame. And then he had this guitar, and you may or may not have seen this before, but that is a striped up Les Paul. Or it might be a Les Paul copy, I don't know. Looks like it could be a Les Paul.
So done with tape, so there's no paint, but he's just put black tape on it, right?
But a lot of people think that may have been the inspiration that Ed had for playing, or to painting his guitar like this.
We had talked
and
about
a punk rock band, so I don't know if it all ties together or not. But
we had talked about that. I went online typing in Dills,
Yeah.
whiskey shows, whiskey with Van Halen. I never saw any shows that they played together.
Right.
But the Dills were playing all of those dates right around that time,
Right.
77,
Right.
76. So yeah, conceivably, possible. I mean, I don't know how much of a punk fan Edward was.
yeah,
But I suppose we'll have to ask Chip about that, right?
yeah. I wonder
Yeah.
if he's still around.
Yeah, I wonder.
That's Ain't Talking.
Ain't talking. Running with the Devil.
Let's see. Third track, "Running with the Devil," was one of the songs that had the overdub you mentioned.
That was what?
That had an overdub on there.
Yeah, the guitar solo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Another deceptively difficult song. Just sounds like Ed's just kind of beating out C and D and
Yeah.
E, big bar chords, but there's a lot more going on.
Yeah.
I got that from watching you play, man.
Yeah, so the first thing I understand is that the B is flat. The thing about that one and that solo, it is deceivingly, he throws a lot of notes in a very small space. So he's throwing in all sorts of... And then the last dyads that he does are...
For those of us who don't know what a dyad is, Derek, what's a dyad?
hitting two notes at the same time, two strings at the same time. So all in the hand is like... we'd go see Van Halen play, and another friend of mine would go, and we'd look and go, what is he doing? His hand is never moving right there on those dyads. How is that even possible? So then, okay, after a little while, dissecting it. So anyway, it's a deceivingly difficult solo to play.
Yeah.
It sounds very simple, but to play it it's a lot harder than one would think.
Yeah, unbelievable.
It's just a different feel for the guitar, It's just...